Hey everyone, this is Matt, and in today's video we have another Master Duel deck matchup video. This time, Eldlich against Adventure Phantom Knights. So, ever since the Adventure package came out in Master Duel, you know, ever since that, a lot more decks started, basically every deck is playing it now. Yeah, I guess a major one that's very popular is Adventure PK, where PK honestly stands for Phantom Knights or Prank Kids. But yeah, so if you got to this video because you searched on YouTube the keywords adventure, Master Duel, whatever, or deck, right? Um, and you're looking to build an adventure deck, do not build Phantom Knights. It is one of the worst ones, despite the synergy with the adventure package. There are better decks, right? For example, the other Adventure PK, Adventure Prank Kids deck is better than Adventure Phantom Knights. So anyway, yeah, so we'll see. So check out this video. I'm playing Eldlich, and my opponent is Adventure Phantom Knights. I do lose the coin toss, and I do go second. So let's see what this dude is going to make. Alright. So my opening hand is really good. I have two. See, this is the kind of opening hand you want to see every game if you could, right? Two floodgates, one Eldlich engine piece, and two you know, get stuff off the board type cards, right? And the cool thing about needle sealing is because of adventures everywhere, the adventure package adds 2 extra bodies. So you're like, oh, needle sealing requires 4 monsters to activate. The adventure package by itself contributes 2 monsters. So that's actually easier now than you thought. Also, another cool thing that you can do that you might not know. Here, let me pause this real quick. So let's read this card here. Gryphon Rider says, when a thing is activated, you can shuffle this card into the deck. And if you do that, negate the activation. And if you do that, destroy that card. So one thing you can do if you're against the adventure, if you didn't know, use a card that is gonna, that Gryphon Rider is gonna attempt to negate, right? Or like to bait it. They chain the negate, and then you chain another card that's gonna destroy the Gryphon, right? So if you do that, if you chain a second card that destroys Gryphon Rider, like sends it to the graveyard, it will not get shuffled back into the deck. Therefore, it will not negate your first card, right? So one thing I can do, like just as an example, let's say I set 5 here, right? I flip Gozen Match. He chains his Gryphon Rider. I chain Needle Sealing, kill his board. My Gozen Match stays on the field, right? I mean, obviously I can flip Skill Drain, and obviously Needle Sealing assumes they have 4 monsters. They're gonna have 4 monsters, but yeah, just to let you know. So if you're a combo player, you play Ghost Ogre, which everyone should be playing right now. Ghost Ogre can chain to Gryphon Rider to pop the Gryphon Rider so it doesn't shuffle, and if it can't shuffle, it can't negate. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so let's continue. So yeah, he normals the thing, the Phantom thing. Makes the reason he wins the Almirage is because his normal summoned Torn Scales cannot activate its effect because of the adventure package. That's quote unquote the downside of playing adventure. Anyway, alright, so he's just gonna do his Phantom Knights thing. He gets the thing. Honestly, I don't really care enough about the Phantom Knights combo to really know the nitty-gritty details of what they do. All I know is that they summon out the ass, they put their things in the graveyard, and all their monsters have graveyard effects that usually involve searching cards or summoning monsters. Alright, so I thought this was interesting. So he uses Lul Anaconda to make his Almirage a dark monster. I'm like, wait, what the hell? Was that a misclick? Did he mean to pay 2,000? No, he actually meant this because he links into Bardiche, and Bardiche requires dark monsters. So that was just funny. I'm like, okay. So I thought, wait, why did you give up Lul Anaconda? You'll see why in a bit. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, I like how all the traps summon the monsters back. It's like so weird. Okay, he makes the break sword. Okay. He pops himself. Okay. Summons him back at level 4. Okay. And then he makes Evil Swarm Nightmare. Okay, so two things. First of all, the reason he didn't use his Anaconda to pay 2,000 is because he hard drew Fusion Destiny. But Evil Swarm Nightmare is not a card I'm used to seeing. So 2 level 4 dark monsters. When your opponent special summons a monster, detach a material, change that special monster defense position. This is not once per turn, so okay, so this is like a Book of Moon on special summon monsters. Not bad, although maybe this guy hasn't realized yet, but if you're gonna play Adventure for Phantom Knights, you should also add in the Scythe package. Wait, is the Scythe package legal in Master Duel? I don't even know, honestly. Like, I hope it isn't, but if it is, it should be in this deck. But anyway, someone on the comments, let me know, is the Scythe package legal on Master Duel? I don't actually know that. Alright, so then he goes end phase. Okay. So I'm going to draw Pod Duality. Okay. So Pod Duality is going to grab me Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Oh, there's Imperial Order and Solemn Strike. Okay, why do I grab Lord of the Heavenly Prison? Because Lord of the Heavenly Prison protects my back row. He has 2 pops on the field. He has the DPE pop, and theoretically, he might be able to summon a monster to get Bardiche pop off, right? But yeah, for Lord of the Heavenly Prison, will protect my back row from pops. That's the why I grabbed it. Plus, I already have really solid back row. I didn't really need like a Solemn Strike. I'd rather have back row protection. Surprisingly, he actually changed Gryphon Rider to Lord of the Heavenly Prison. I actually think that this is a big fuck up on his part / misplay. Like, why would you do this, right? I have 6 cards in my hand. I guess you can assume I'm a back row deck. Why would you chain Gryphon Rider? So he's basically giving up his Omni Negate until his next turn's main phase, right? So I don't know, like, what he doesn't know the full contents of my deck, right? Let's say he thinks I'm a mixed deck, right? Doesn't he think I have other plays after this? Like, oh, he thinks, oh, this is the time where you want to negate Gryphon Rider? I don't know. Maybe he thought I was going to summon Lord of the Heavenly Prison, which is a 3k beater. That's a possibility. But then he has Evil Swarm Nightmare that could just flip it face down. So I don't understand this negate, right? So it just seems silly. I'm like, I mean, okay, it baited, great. So it's not going to be around in their draw phase, right? Because, yeah, all these traps I have here in my hand, I'm going to use them in draw phase, right? So, okay, I guess Gryphon Rider's not around anymore. That's cool. So I thought that was a dumb negate. But whatever. I mean, alright, cool. I'm just going to set 5 pass. You're giving up your Omni Negate. So DP is going to pop itself and his Fog Blade. Okay? Which is weird, and then Fog Blade is going to summon a thing. The Break Sword. And because Break Sword is going to be summoned, Bardiche is going to he's gonna pop, right? So that's what I meant by he had 2 pops, and then the Eldlich is just gonna grab a thing. But so technically, he could have kept DP on the field, pop his Fog Blade in one of my cards, right? For some, maybe this guy thought like, oh, if you use DP effect, you have to pop itself. No, you can pop any card on the field. You can pop Draco back if you wanted. Draco back will recycle itself. So I don't know. That was weird that he popped himself, but whatever. I'm okay with that. All right, draw phase. I immediately flip Goes a match. This forces him to lock into Dark because Dark is his primary attribute. And now Draco back and the token are gone. I no longer have to deal with them. And because the Adventure Engine, none of these pieces are Dark, that means the Gryphon Rider in his hand, if he ever draws it, is a brick now, right? He'll never be able to summon it as long as he has a Dark monster. And then I'm going to flip Skill Drain. Why? Because I want to have it before DP hits the field. Alright. So DP returns. Don't care. At this point, he can do whatever his heart desires. My plan, after I saw it, okay, whatever combos or bullshit you're gonna do, if you ever go into battle phase, I'm gonna needle sealing your board, right? Like, oh wait, what if he gets rid of cards from his field? Well, his DP and his Bardiche are definitely staying on his field, so Bardiche cannot be linked away, and he would be very foolish to link or Xyz away his DP, right? So, you know, worst case scenario, he's going to have 3 monsters on his field in battle phase, and guess what? I summon Conquistador, that's 4th monster, and I needle sealing, blow up the board, right? In fact, regardless of how many monsters he goes into battle phase with, I'm going to use Conquistador and Needle Sealing the board. Why? I want Conquistador in the graveyard. I can't link it away into Link Spider or Imduck because goes in match would lock me into lights, right? So regardless of what board he puts up, battle phase, Conquistador, Needle Sealing. Boom, right? And then I still have my Floodgates, and I have a Dogmatic Punishment to deal with his DPE next turn. Wait, what do you mean deal with his DPE? You'll see. Punishment can single-handedly out DPE, by the way. So he's actually going to use Celestial to draw 2. It doesn't matter. Fog Blade's going to do a thing. Okay. He draws another thing. He's going to make, you guessed it, Nightmare Unicorn. He can't bounce anything because he doesn't have a droplet target. Even if he if he had Forbidden Droplet, if he had Forbidden Droplet and I had a monster, he could do Nightmare Phoenix chain Forbidden Droplet, get Nightmare Phoenix off the field, but I don't have a monster, so he can't Forbidden Droplet. So that means he's not getting his bounce. So he's just gonna do a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Alright, here it comes. The moment you've all been waiting for. Alright, so he makes Accesscode Talker. Wait a minute, but what about Skill Drain? Okay, so for those of you who do not know, so yeah, Skill Drain will prevent Accesscode Talker from gaining 3,000 attack. So this guy is going to stay at 2,300 attack. Okay, but it does not prevent him from popping a Floodgate, right? So Accesscode ability says, you can banish one Link monster from your field or graveyard. Destroy a card your opponent controls, right? So that means he can banish itself, Accesscode Talker, to pop one of my Floodgates. So I know this is what he's going to try to do, right? And I don't want him to do that. And he's definitely going to pop Skill Drain because goes to match it, there's no point for him to pop it, right? So I know this is what he's going to do. So what I'm going to do is on summon, right, I'm going to activate Conquistador. So my Needle Sealing plan occurs early, and I'm going to flip Needle Sealing, right? So now he loses his Accesscode package. No more Nightmare Phoenix, right? DP will come back, but it doesn't matter because Dogmatic Punishment will out DP. Alright, I'm going to punishment his DPE. So, by the way, he did not activate his DP's graveyard effect, right? So I think this was another mistake or fuck up on his part because obviously your DP gets destroyed, you can revive it, right? So he did not revive it. Well, maybe I don't know. I think it was a mistake, right? Regardless if it was a mistake or not, look at what I sent as my Dogmatic Punishment target, right? Omega. Read this card. Once per turn during... Oh, sorry. Last sentence. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other card in the graveyard, any graveyard, right? Shuffle that and discard into the deck. So, let's say he did activate his DP effect in the graveyard. I then activate Omega. Omega bounces DP back into the extra deck, and then DP is no longer a problem, right? So, yeah, Punishment can single-handedly out DP if you have Omega. Just FYI for those who did not know that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end phase, grab Elixir. And yeah, I'm just going to sit on my Floodgates and just bop him over the head with my Eldlich, right? It's like, his deck is gone, right? Like, look at his extra deck. 6 cards left. My guess, one of them is probably Appaloosa, maybe a Zeus, whatever. Either way, like... Look at this. Look at this graveyard. Look at this banish pile, right? Look at this deck. 19 cards left in deck. Meanwhile, I have 30, right? Like, I don't understand why people don't play Eldlich more. It's like free wins. But but it's boring. I mean, playing meta is also boring. So, yeah, that's a stupid argument. Anyway, so he actually ends up trying to go for the adventure package, which is like, alright, both your adventure monsters are lower attack than my Eldlich. So, not sure what the plan is here. So he chains Gryphon Rider to the thing. I'm like, but guess what? Goes in match, baby. Your Gryphon Rider cannot coexist with the token. So he tries to attack Elixir, grab my Eldlich. Yeah, it's not a... I don't know, this guy is not very smart. But then again, anyone who plays Adventure or Phantom Knights is not very smart to begin with. So it's not that surprising. I mean, if he played a little better, I think this game would have still went in a similar way. Yeah, so no more Gryphon Rider. All he has left is his adventure token, right? And he just scoops, because, yeah, his his deck was completely obliterated. Like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so moral of the story, don't play Phantom Knights. It sucks. It's strictly worse than most other um, decks that use the adventure package. And yeah, if you want like a cool deck that does stuff in the graveyard, play zombies or something, right? I don't know. Just seems like there are cooler decks archetype wise, and there's better decks like strength wise. So just if you want archetype, if you want like coolness, there's other decks. If you want, I don't know. I just think Phantom Knights is a silly deck archetype. Anyway, all right. Thanks for watching. There'll definitely be more content coming up soon. But yeah, I'm on Diamond 3 right now. I'll be hitting Diamond 1 very very soon. I haven't been playing this last week. But yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.